Georgia high school shooting. 4 dead, 1 suspect in custody, authorities say. Suspect in shooting at Apalachee High School in Barrow County. Georgia is alive. Georgia Bureau of Investigation confirms. At least 4 people are dead Wednesday after a shooting at a high school in north-central Georgia put the building on lockdown, authorities said. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation confirmed that 4 people died at Apalachee High School in Barrow County, Georgia, approximately 40 miles northeast of Atlanta, and 9 others were taken to various hospitals with gunshot wounds. The suspect is alive and in custody. At approximately 10:23 a.m., officers from multiple law enforcement agencies and fire/EMS personnel were dispatched to the high school in reference to a reported active shooting, the Barrow County Sheriff's Office said in a statement. Barrow County Sheriff Judd Smith addressed reporters Wednesday afternoon, providing limited details. Smith said he first received the call of an active shooter at 9:30 a.m. He confirmed that there were multiple injuries. The sheriff said law enforcement officials were conducting a very fluid investigation and asked for patience from the media to let them gather the facts. He predicted that it will take multiple days to figure out what happened and how. Smith did confirm that a suspect is in custody and said they were in the process of reuniting students with their parents. Georgia authorities have not released the identities of the deceased and wounded victims of the Apalachee High School shooting, but one woman came forward to say her father was shot. In a public Facebook post on Wednesday, a woman named Katie Phoenix explained that her father, David Phoenix, had been shot at the school. "We are so thankful for all the texts, calls, and messages about my dad," David Phoenix, the daughter, wrote. "There was a shooting this morning at Apalachee High School, and my dad was shot in the foot and in the hip, shattering his hip bone. He arrived to the hospital alert and awake. He just got out of surgery and is stable," she added. "We will update as we hear new information. We are so lucky, but please keep our family as well as the AHS family in your prayers." He did not take any questions, but said he hoped to provide more information later in the afternoon. President Biden issued a statement and condemned the violence at the high school. "Jill and I are mourning the deaths of those whose lives were cut short due to more senseless gun violence, and thinking of all of the survivors whose lives are forever changed. What should have been a joyous back-to-school season in Winder, Georgia, has now turned into another horrific reminder of how gun violence continues to tear our communities apart," Biden wrote. "Students across the country are learning how to duck and cover instead of how to read and write. We cannot continue to accept this as normal," Biden continued. Biden added that they are closely coordinating with officials at the federal, state, and local level and are grateful for the first responders who brought the suspect into custody and prevented further loss of life. Biden continued his statement by saying that after decades of inaction, Republicans in Congress must finally say enough is enough and work with Democrats to pass common-sense gun safety legislation. "We must ban assault weapons and high-capacity magazines once again, require safe storage of firearms, enact universal background checks, and end immunity for gun manufacturers. These measures will not bring those who were tragically killed today back, but it will help prevent more tragic gun violence from ripping more families apart," Biden said. Footage from the scene showed first responders rendering aid to individuals outside the school, as well as dozens of police officers surrounding the perimeter. The FBI has also acknowledged they are aware of the unfolding situation. "I have directed all available state resources to respond to the incident at Apalachee High School and urge all Georgians to join my family in praying for the safety of those in our classrooms, both in Barrow County and across the state," said Gov. Brian Kemp. "We will continue to work with local, state, and federal partners as we gather information and further respond to this situation," the governor added. Text messages from a student to his mother also revealed the horror happening inside the high school. "School shooting or I'm scared. Plus, I'm not joking." The text messages posted by Erin Clark Reed. The mother then responds to her son and says she is leaving work. "I love you," the student tells his mom. She says it back and asks where he is. "Class, someone's dead," the student responds. U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland confirmed during a separate press conference Wednesday afternoon that the FBI and Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives ATF, was on the scene gathering information about the incident. "I'm devastated for the families that have been affected by this terrible tragedy," Garland said. Vice President Kamala Harris also issued a statement during a press conference, acknowledging the shooting and violence that took place. "It's just outrageous that every day in our country, in the United States of America, that parents have to send their children to school worried about whether or not their child will come home alive," Harris said. "Our hearts are with all the students of the teachers and their families, of course. And we are grateful to the first responders and the law enforcement that were on the scene," Harris continued.